shredding. Understanding how to practice is key to achieving technical prowess, but realizing that in this journey we're facing both physical and mental obstacles will greatly increase our chances of success. Being able to play at high speed freely is no easy task and requires commitment, and in our path we encounter many problems. These obstacles can take many forms, ranging from technical difficulties and physical limitations to self-doubt and mental barriers. Understanding how to overcome these drawbacks is ultimately what sets apart less skilled players from proficient ones. Let's start with the physical aspect of things. The first shredding mistake we're gonna talk about is not starting from the basics. There are a million ways to shred and reach lightning speed on the guitar, and your favorite guitar players probably play some amazing stuff, so why not start with their licks? And this is sadly where many players fall. While it's true that some players have found success emulating their idols, it's crucial to consider the context. Your favorite players have likely spent years honing and perfecting their craft, and have a wealth of experience under their belt. The solos and licks they play often involve advanced techniques that they've practiced and refined for a significant amount of time. A new player trying to play this will not have a great time. It's unrealistic to expect yourself to master these challenging solos, no matter how hard you try, simply because you haven't yet built the necessary foundation for such advanced playing. Instead of diving straight into highly advanced licks, we need to focus on laying a strong foundation for your basic shredding skills, beginning with basic techniques and exercises that develop your finger dexterity, coordination, and hand synchronization. And you don't need to go too far for this because we have great lessons for that. All the links are available in the description. Which brings us to our next point: not playing comfortable patterns. Many people believe that those who can shred on the guitar can effortlessly play anything at lightning speed. However, this notion is only true to an extent. While highly skilled players can indeed perform a very wide range of licks at high speeds with enough practice, it's important to know that shredding is predominantly pattern-based. What this means is that when we shred, we usually play the same pattern over different sets of strings. If I dedicate the time to learn this specific pattern, I will eventually unlock the ability to play it fast. Thanks to muscle memory, the repetition and familiarity with the pattern enables me to execute it with high speed and accuracy. However, achieving this level of proficiency in one pattern doesn't necessarily guarantee the ability to play anything else at high speed, unless that thing is derived from that which I already practiced and mastered. Each pattern requires its own dedicated practice and development of muscle memory. For instance, the pattern I just demonstrated contains small patterns within it. For example, these patterns are essential building blocks to the larger pattern. Nonetheless, reaching a high level of proficiency in anything at the guitar significantly improves your overall technique. This makes it easier for us to learn and tackle new materials and patterns. The skills we learn from one pattern transform and enhance our abilities across different and various musical contexts. So to help you with that, we have 2 lessons to tackle this problem. Our next topic is going to be focusing on multiple techniques. So obviously there are plenty of cool techniques available to us that allow us to tailor our style and playing to match the emotions and messages we wish to convey through our music. And it's great to explore these various techniques whenever we feel the need for some creative inspiration or simply for something fresh. However, if your primary goal is to become proficient in a specific skill, such as alternate picking for example, it's crucial to structure your practice routine with a heavy focus on honing that specific technique. Focusing on developing a specific technique does not mean mindlessly playing the same exercise over and over again. In fact, the opposite is true, and we go over this issue in this video. But focusing on a specific technique means having a mindful approach to your practice routine. Understanding the core principles and mechanics behind specific techniques is essential for improvement, and crafting a well-rounded practice routine that encompasses various exercises of the technique you're after will yield far better results. Once you've reached your desired goal, you can then shift your focus on developing other aspects of your playing, or simply start learning a different technique. But remember that in order to be proficient, you have to be fixed on your goal. And that brings us to our mental barriers under the headline Inconsistency. We've all been there. Sometimes we feel tired of our instrument and in need of a break, or different priorities take our time that we usually dedicate to the guitar. And that is totally fine, because that's not what I mean by inconsistency. The inconsistency that I'm talking about is of a worse kind. The kind where you have your priorities straight. You know you want to get better, and you have the time, but you're just so burnt out of playing these exercises, you'd rather do anything but that. We've all been there too. Well, how do we fix it? The answer is by not getting in this position in the first place. You see, practice is important, and improvement is what motivates us to keep going at the end of the day. But don't forget the reason you want to improve. Because you love the instrument. While practice is important, enjoying your time is just as. And learning to balance the two is the real secret. If you only play mindless exercises for a week straight, you'll never want to touch your guitar again. But there's kind of a loophole here. What if you could practice these exercises for hours without getting bored or burned? Well, that's where melodic exercises come to play. Instead of playing an exercise that way, you practice it that way. Making it melodic and much more enjoyable to play for long periods of time. And that's what we constantly aim for in this channel. Two honorable mentions I talked about in a past video, but so many people neglect those two things. The first one would be playing with tension in your hands. It slows you down, it damages your tendons, it's bad for you. The second one is more of a tip. Play with a metronome. It's literally a hack to getting better. But that's not all there is to it. Understanding how to practice also means practicing right. And if you feel like you're stuck, this video tackles why you're not getting better.